Eastern Canada welcomes travelers with a fusion of history, culture, and natural wonders, forming a region where the past and present harmonize against breathtaking backdrops. The journey begins in Ontario, where the pulse of vibrant cities beats alongside the enduring power of nature. The roar of Niagara Falls announces itself before it comes into view, a thunderous symphony that has echoed across generations. Here, the mighty Niagara River plunges dramatically over a precipice, sending torrents of water crashing into the basin below. Mist rises in shimmering veils, painting rainbows that arch over the churning waters. The Horseshoe Falls, with their stunning curvature, draw millions each year, their sheer power a reminder of nature's relentless creativity. Walkways wind close to the edge, allowing visitors to feel the exhilarating spray, while boat tours venture into the heart of the falls, immersing travelers in the spectacle. Niagara Falls isn't just a sight to behold. It's an experience that resonates, leaving visitors awed by the grandeur and force of the natural world. A short journey north leads to Toronto, Canada's largest city and a beacon of cosmopolitan energy. Dominating the skyline is the CN Tower, a marvel of engineering and one of the tallest freestanding structures in the world. Its slender spire pierces the sky, visible for miles around. Ascend to its observation deck, and the city unfurls beneath, an intricate mosaic of neighborhoods, parks, and the shimmering expanse of Lake Ontario. On clear days, the horizon stretches almost endlessly, and for the adventurous, the Edgewalk offers a heart-pounding chance to walk outside the tower, tethered to safety harnesses, with the city far below. Toronto is a tapestry woven from many threads, none more vibrant than its dedication to history and culture. The Royal Ontario Museum, with its striking modern crystal facade, invites exploration. Inside, galleries brim with treasures, dinosaur skeletons frozen in ancient poses, gleaming minerals, and artifacts from civilizations across the globe. Exhibits trace the arc of natural history and human achievement, while special displays spotlight Indigenous cultures and the ever-evolving story of Canada itself. The museum is a crossroads where the past and present meet, where visitors can contemplate the mysteries of the earth and the creativity of humankind. Despite its urban buzz, Toronto offers pockets of tranquility. The Toronto Islands, a short ferry ride from the city's bustling core, are a world apart. Here, car-free paths wind between leafy trees, sandy beaches, and open meadows. Cyclists and picnickers find respite, while the city's skyline forms a dramatic backdrop across the water. Canoes glide through sheltered lagoons, and the gentle rhythm of waves replaces the hum of traffic. The islands are a reminder that, even in the heart of Canada's largest metropolis, nature is never far away. History takes on a storybook quality at Casa Loma, Toronto's famed Gothic Revival castle. Its turrets and battlements rise above manicured gardens, recalling the romantic architecture of medieval Europe. Inside, opulent rooms are adorned with stained glass, wood paneling, and grand fireplaces. Secret passages whisper of intrigue, while sweeping staircases invite imaginations to run wild. Casa Loma stands as a testament to ambition and dreams, a glimpse into a bygone era where elegance and extravagance reigned. The journey then shifts northeast to Ottawa, the nation's capital, where the threads of Canadian identity are woven. Ottawa is a city where history is lived daily, its ceremonial heart beating on Parliament Hill. Here, Gothic Revival buildings loom over the Ottawa River, their copper roofs and stone facades evoking the grandeur of old-world capitals. The Peace Tower stands sentinel, its clock and carillon bells marking the passage of time. On summer mornings, crowds gather for the colorful changing of the guard ceremony, a spectacle of precision and tradition, with scarlet uniforms and brass bands echoing across the lawns. Just steps away, the Rideau Canal traces a path through the city. In summer, pleasure boats drift lazily along its waters, navigating locks that date back to the early 19th century. Cyclists and joggers follow the canal's meandering banks, passing under graceful bridges and leafy trees. When winter arrives, the canal transforms into the world's largest skating rink, its frozen surface alive with laughter and the rhythmic scrape of skates. The Rideau Canal is more than a waterway. It's a living monument to the ingenuity and spirit of the people who built it, and a gathering place that changes with the seasons. Across the river in Gatineau, the Canadian Museum of History stands as a tribute to the stories that have shaped the land. Its curving, organic architecture is inspired by the sweep of rivers and the contours of the landscape. Inside, exhibits chronicle the journey of Canada's peoples, from the millennia-old traditions of indigenous communities to the arrival of settlers and the emergence of a modern nation. Artifacts, totem poles, and multimedia displays create an immersive narrative, inviting visitors to reflect on the country's diverse heritage and the shared values that define it. Travel eastward, and the pulse of French-Canadian culture comes alive in Montreal. The city's streets are a blend of old and new, where European charm meets North American dynamism. Music spills from open doors, and festivals light up the calendar year-round. Old Montreal, with its cobblestone lanes and historic buildings, feels like a step back in time. Cafes spill onto the sidewalks, their terraces shaded by striped awnings, while horse-drawn carriages clatter past. The sound of French mingles with English, a testament to the city's enduring dual heritage. At the heart of Old Montreal stands the Notre Dame Basilica, a masterpiece of Gothic Revival architecture. Its twin towers soar skyward, while inside, the sanctuary glows with vibrant stained glass and intricate woodwork. The vaulted ceiling, painted deep blue and studded with golden stars, creates a sense of wonder and reverence. Light filters through the windows, casting colorful patterns across the pews, while the organ's resonant notes fill the air. The basilica is a place of beauty and contemplation, a spiritual and artistic landmark. For a different perspective, ascend Mount Royal Park, the leafy crown that rises above the city. Designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, the park offers winding trails, quiet groves, and panoramic views. From its summit, Montreal spreads out below, a patchwork of neighborhoods, church spires, and the silver curve of the St. Lawrence River. In autumn, the park's trees blaze with color, while winter transforms it into a wonderland of snow and ice. Further along the St. Lawrence, the journey arrives at Quebec City, one of North America's most enchanting destinations. Here, fortress walls encircle a city that feels plucked from a European fairy tale. Narrow streets twist beneath centuries-old stone buildings, while flower boxes and wrought iron balconies add bursts of color. Quebec City's French heritage is everywhere, in the language, the cuisine, and the joie de vivre that animates its festivals and markets. Rising above it all is the Château Frontenac, a grand hotel whose turrets and copper roofs have become the city's emblem. Perched atop a bluff overlooking the river, the chateau is the world's most photographed hotel, a romantic vision of elegance and history. Inside, its halls echo with the footsteps of dignitaries and dreamers, while outside, the Dufferin Boardwalk offers sweeping vistas of the water and the distant Laurentian Mountains. Quebec City's Old Town is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, a distinction that speaks to its unique blend of history and living culture. The city's fortifications are the last remaining fortified city walls in the Americas north of Mexico, their stone ramparts a tangible link to the days when French and British forces vied for control of the continent. Museums, galleries, and lively bistros line the streets, while street performers and artists bring the city's squares to life. As the journey through eastern Canada draws to a close, one is left with a sense of wonder at the region's ability to blend the old and the new, the natural and the human. From the thunderous majesty of Niagara Falls to the tranquil beauty of the Toronto Islands, from the political gravitas of Parliament Hill to the vibrant creativity of Montreal's festivals, from the fairy tale charm of Quebec City to the living stories preserved in museums and along canals, Eastern Canada is a tapestry of experiences, each thread telling a story of heritage, resilience, and joy. With its historic cities, awe-inspiring landscapes and welcoming communities, Eastern Canada stands as an invitation to explore, to reflect, and to celebrate the enduring spirit that shapes this remarkable corner of the world. And as the journey pauses here, the promise of new adventures awaits in the heart of nature and the vibrant landscapes of central Canada. Welcome to central Canada, a region where the wilderness stretches endlessly and nature's harmony is ever present. Here, the land is shaped by vast lakes, rolling forests, and a spirit of adventure that beckons explorers from all walks of life. In this part of Canada, the stories are written in the ripples of deep blue waters, in the call of distant loons, and in the wind that rustles ancient pines. Central Canada is a place of remarkable contrasts, where the serenity of untouched landscapes meets the vibrant pulse of thriving communities, and where wildlife roams free against a backdrop of some of the world's most spectacular scenery. Our journey begins in the heart of Ontario, at Algonquin Provincial Park, a sanctuary of lakes, forests, and wildlife. Spanning nearly 8,000 square kilometers, Algonquin is a living tapestry of nature, where the rhythm of life is dictated by the seasons. Here, the land is carved by glacial forces, leaving behind a maze of over 2,000 lakes and countless streams and rivers. For generations, Algonquin has been a haven for canoeists and hikers alike. Paddling on one of its serene lakes, you can glide past rocky shores under the watchful gaze of towering white pines that have stood for centuries. At dawn, the mist rises from the water, and the haunting call of a loon echoes across the stillness, a soundtrack that is uniquely Canadian. Algonquin is more than just water. It is a wilderness teeming with life. Black bears forage among blueberry bushes, moose wade through quiet marshes, and white-tailed deer move silently through the underbrush. If you're lucky, you might catch a glimpse of a beaver building a lodge, or spot the flash of a river otter playing along the shore. The park's hiking trails, like the Highland Backpacking Trail and the Lookout Trail, offer travelers a chance to immerse themselves in this natural abundance. In autumn, Algonquin is transformed by a breathtaking display of colors, as maples and birches ignite the forest in shades of gold, crimson, and amber. It's a season that draws visitors from around the world, all eager to witness the beauty of the Canadian wilderness. Moving westward, the landscape unfolds into the dramatic beauty of Georgian Bay, often called the Sixth Great Lake. This immense body of water, dotted with more than 30,000 islands, is renowned for its rugged coastlines and windswept pines, trees immortalized by Canada's legendary group of 7 painters. The crystalline waters of the bay shift from deep blue to mesmerizing turquoise, lapping at pink granite shores that have been sculpted by millennia of wind and water. Here, the spirit of adventure is ever present, whether you're kayaking along the shore, sailing among the islands, or simply pausing to take in the silence and grandeur of the landscape. Georgian Bay is a place where the horizon seems to stretch forever, inviting you to lose yourself in its endless beauty. A short journey south brings you to the Bruce Peninsula, a land defined by dramatic cliffs, lush forests, and the iconic grotto. This natural sea cave, carved from ancient limestone, is renowned for its crystal-clear aquamarine waters, an irresistible invitation for swimmers and adventurers. The Bruce Trail, Canada's oldest and longest marked footpath, winds its way along the peninsula's edge, offering panoramic views of Georgian Bay and a chance to explore the unique flora and fauna that thrive in this microclimate. The Bruce Peninsula is a living testament to the power of water and time, a place where every rock and tree has a story to tell. From the windswept shores of the Bruce Peninsula, we venture to Manitoulin Island, the world's largest freshwater island and a place of deep spiritual and cultural significance. Manitoulin, whose name means Spirit Island in the Ojibwe language, is a mosaic of forests, lakes, and rolling farmlands. Here, indigenous communities have lived in harmony with the land for thousands of years, and their traditions continue to shape the island's identity. Visitors can explore sacred sites, paddle on Lake Manitou, or hike the Cup and Saucer Trail for breathtaking views of the island's unique landscape. Manitoulin is also a meeting place, where cultures converge and ancient customs are celebrated through art, music, and storytelling. Continuing north, the landscape gives way to rolling hills and ancient rock, leading to the city of Sudbury. Here, Science North stands as a beacon of discovery, a world-class interactive science center with a special focus on geology. Sudbury's history is etched in stone. Once the site of a massive meteorite impact over 1 billion years ago, the land is rich in nickel and other minerals. Science North invites visitors to explore the wonders of the natural world, from hands-on exhibits about mining and minerals to immersive experiences with live animals. It's a place where curiosity is ignited, and the connections between people and the planet are brought vividly to life. Leaving Ontario behind, we cross into the province of Manitoba, where the wide-open prairies meet the wild beauty of the north. Manitoba is a land of prairie skies and Arctic wonders, a place where nature and culture intertwine in unexpected ways. The province's capital, Winnipeg, is a vibrant cultural hub, defined by a rich tapestry of history and innovation. At its heart stands the Canadian Museum for Human Rights, an architectural marvel dedicated to exploring the universal struggle for dignity and freedom. Through powerful exhibits and interactive displays, the museum invites visitors to reflect on the stories of courage and resilience that have shaped Canada and the world. Winnipeg is also home to the Assiniboine Park Zoo, a leader in polar bear conservation. Here, visitors can come face-to-face with these majestic animals, learning about their fragile northern habitat and the challenges they face in a changing climate. The Journey to Churchill exhibit recreates the Arctic tundra, offering a window into the lives of polar bears, seals, and Arctic foxes. It's an experience that inspires awe and respect for the creatures that call Canada's North home. At the confluence of the Red and Assiniboine rivers lies the Forks, a historic meeting place that has been a center of trade and culture for over 6,000 years. Long before the arrival of European settlers, Indigenous peoples gathered here to trade goods, share stories, and celebrate the rhythms of life. Today, the Forks is a dynamic urban space where markets, festivals, and public art celebrate the diversity of Manitoba's people. It's a place where the past and present come together, inviting everyone to be part of the ongoing story of the land. Beyond the city, Manitoba's wild heart beats in places like Riding Mountain National Park. Here, forested hills and clear lakes provide sanctuary to a remarkable array of wildlife. The park is home to black bears, elk, moose, and even a free-roaming herd of plains bison, a rare sight in modern Canada. Hiking and biking trails wind through aspen forests and wildflower meadows, while quiet lakes invite paddlers and anglers to immerse themselves in the park's tranquil beauty. Riding Mountain is a place to reconnect with nature, to listen to the whisper of the wind in the trees, and to marvel at the resilience of the wild. No journey through Manitoba would be complete without visiting Lake Winnipeg, one of the largest freshwater lakes in the world. Its vast expanse dominates the province's geography, stretching over 400 kilometers from north to south. The lake is a lifeline for communities that dot its shores, providing fish, recreation, and a sense of place. On a summer day, the beaches of Grand Beach and Gimli come alive with families and travelers, all drawn to the soft sands and gentle waves. But Lake Winnipeg is more than just a destination. It is an ecosystem in its own right, home to countless species of birds and fish, and a vital part of the region's natural heritage. Far to the north, where the land meets the icy waters of Hudson Bay, lies Churchill, known around the world as the polar bear capital. Every autumn, as the sea ice begins to form, hundreds of polar bears gather near Churchill, waiting for their chance to return to the frozen bay and hunt for seals. This annual migration offers a rare opportunity to witness these magnificent animals up close as they roam across the tundra in search of food. Guided tours, often in specially designed tundra vehicles, allow visitors to observe the bears in their natural habitat, while learning about the delicate balance that sustains life in the north. But Churchill is not just about polar bears. In the summer months, as the ice melts and the bay comes alive, thousands of beluga whales gather in the warm, shallow waters of the Churchill River estuary. These gentle, curious creatures are known for their playful nature and haunting songs, which can be heard echoing through the water. Beluga whale watching is an unforgettable experience, whether from a boat, a kayak, or even a snorkel, offering a connection to the wild that is both exhilarating and humbling. Above it all, the northern lights, the aurora borealis, paint the Manitoba sky in a dazzling display of color and motion. On clear, dark nights, the lights dance across the horizon in shades of green, pink, and violet, casting a magical glow over the landscape. For many, witnessing the northern lights is a lifelong dream, a reminder of nature's power and mystery. In Manitoba, this dream becomes reality, as the sky comes alive with light and the world below holds its breath in wonder. Throughout central Canada, the stories of the land are intertwined with those of its people, especially the Métis and Inuit communities whose traditions and resilience continue to shape the region. The Métis, descendants of Indigenous and European ancestors, have forged a unique culture defined by vibrant art, music, and a deep connection to the land. Their stories are told through intricate beadwork, lively fiddle tunes, and the warm hospitality of their gatherings. The Inuit, whose homeland stretches from northern Manitoba into the Arctic, are masters of survival in one of the world's harshest environments. Their legacy is one of ingenuity and adaptability, reflected in everything from stone carvings and throat singing to the lessons passed down from elders to the next generation. As our journey through central Canada draws to a close, we are left with a sense of awe at the region's diversity and vitality. From the tranquil waters of Algonquin Park to the windswept shores of Georgian Bay, from the cultural heart of Winnipeg to the wild expanse of the northern tundra, central Canada is a land of extraordinary beauty and resilience. Here, nature and humanity exist in delicate balance, each shaping and sustaining the other. Now, as we prepare to move westward, the horizon rises to meet the jagged peaks of the majestic Rockies, a new chapter in our exploration of Canada's vast and varied landscapes. But the spirit of central Canada remains with us, a spirit of adventure, of connection, and of wonder at the world we share. Crossing the threshold into Western Canada, the land transforms before your eyes. The prairies roll away, and on the horizon, the mighty Rocky Mountains rise, rugged, snow-capped, and impossibly grand. Here, a sense of adventure fills the air, tugging at travelers and dreamers alike. This is a place where nature's artistry is on full display, where every curve of the road brings a fresh vista, and every valley holds secrets waiting to be discovered. The journey begins in Banff National Park, Canada's first and perhaps most beloved national park, where ancient glaciers rest atop jagged peaks and turquoise lakes shimmer beneath endless skies. The very air feels different here, crisp, clean, tinged with pine and possibility. The town of Banff itself nestles in a valley, bustling with life, yet dwarfed by the mountains that encircle it. Elk and deer wander at the town's edges, reminders that humans are only guests in this wild domain. Venturing further, the road winds higher, and soon you stand at the shores of Lake Louise, a scene so iconic it seems almost painted. The water, a surreal shade of turquoise fed by glacial melt, is framed by towering mountains and the imposing Victoria Glacier presiding at its far end. In the early morning, mist hovers above the lake, and as the sun rises, the peaks ignite in gold and crimson. Canoes drift quietly across the glassy surface, their occupants dwarfed by the grandeur that surrounds them. It's a place to pause, breathe, and simply marvel, a testament to nature's enduring power and beauty. But the wonders do not end here. Just a short drive away lies Moraine Lake, nestled in the Valley of the 10 Peaks. Each of the 10 mountains stands sentinel around the lake, their reflections so perfectly rendered in the water that it's hard to tell where earth ends and sky begins. The color of the water shifts with the light, from deep sapphire to electric blue, a result of glacial rock flour suspended within. It is a landscape that has graced countless postcards and inspired generations of explorers, photographers, and poets. Standing on the rocky outcrop at the lake's edge, you feel a profound sense of awe, a reminder of your smallness and the vastness of the world. No journey through the Rockies would be complete without traversing the legendary Icefields Parkway. This stretch of highway, often hailed as one of the world's most scenic drives, threads its way between Banff and Jasper National Parks. Each bend reveals new wonders, towering peaks, hanging glaciers, and valleys carved by ancient ice. Waterfalls tumble down cliffsides, and wildflowers paint the meadows in summer hues. Pause at viewpoints to watch mountain goats scale sheer rock faces, or to catch a glimpse of a black bear foraging by the roadside. Every kilometer is a revelation, every moment a memory in the making. Midway along the parkway, the Athabasca Glacier beckons, a chance to set foot upon ancient ice. This vast river of blue and white has flowed for thousands of years, shaping the land and offering a tangible connection to the Earth's deep past. Guided tours allow visitors to walk out onto the glacier, crunching over ice that has been compressed and sculpted by time. Peer into crevasses, listen to the silence broken only by the wind, and feel the chill that rises from the heart of the glacier. It is a humbling experience, a reminder that the forces of nature are always at work, reshaping the world in their own patient way. Continuing north, you enter Jasper National Park, where the wilderness stretches even further and the crowds thin. Here, the mountains feel wilder, the forests deeper, and the rivers more untamed. Jasper is renowned as a dark sky preserve, one of the best places in the world to gaze at the stars. On clear nights, the Milky Way arches overhead, and the northern lights sometimes dance across the sky in ribbons of green and violet. Wildlife abounds. Elk and caribou roam the valleys, while bald eagles soar above. The call of a distant loon echoes across still lakes, and if you're lucky, you might spot a grizzly bear ambling through the forest. Among Jasper's many jewels is Spirit Island on Malign Lake, a place both spiritual and breathtakingly beautiful. Accessible only by boat, the island sits in the midst of a long, winding lake, framed by dramatic mountains and ancient forests. For generations, indigenous peoples have considered this a sacred place, and it's easy to see why. The stillness here is profound, the scenery almost otherworldly. Photographers flock to capture its beauty, but nothing compares to being present, feeling the peace that pervades this special place. As you cross from Alberta into British Columbia, Yoho National Park awaits, a land of waterfalls, fossils, and quiet mountain serenity. Here, the roar of Takakal Falls, a Cree word meaning wonderful, echoes through the valley, its waters plunging from dizzying heights. Fossil beds high in the mountains tell stories of life hundreds of millions of years old, while hiking trails wind through wildflower meadows and over rugged ridges. Yoho's beauty is quieter, more contemplative, a place to reconnect with nature and oneself. Hidden within Yoho is Emerald Lake, a gem whose name scarcely does justice to its radiant color. The waters here glow with a stunning jade hue, reflecting the surrounding peaks and forests in perfect symmetry. Canoes glide across the lake's surface, and a gentle trail circles its perimeter, offering ever-changing perspectives on this tranquil scene. In winter, snow transforms the landscape into a silent wonderland, while in summer, the lake's color seems even more vivid beneath the bright sun. The mountains eventually give way to rolling foothills and dense forests as you journey westward, and soon the Pacific coast draws near. Vancouver emerges, a city where nature and innovation blend seamlessly. Here, glass towers rise beside ancient cedars, and the pulse of urban life is never far from the tranquility of the sea or the forest. Vancouver is a gateway to adventure, a place where you can ski in the morning, kayak in the afternoon, and dine on world-class cuisine by night. At the heart of the city lies Stanley Park, an urban oasis larger than New York's Central Park. Its seawall trails invite walkers, runners, and cyclists to circumnavigate its lush forests, offering views of the city skyline, the harbor, and the distant mountains. Massive Douglas firs and western red cedars tower overhead, some centuries old. In spring, cherry blossoms paint the pathways pink, while in autumn, the leaves turn gold and crimson. The park is home to totem poles, a testament to the region's indigenous heritage, and to a diverse array of wildlife, from raccoons to great blue herons. Not far away, the Capilano Suspension Bridge offers a different perspective, one high above the forest floor. Suspended over a deep canyon, the bridge sways gently as you cross, the river rushing far below. In the treetop adventure area, elevated walkways wind through the upper canopy, offering a bird's-eye view of the ancient forest. It's an exhilarating experience, blending adrenaline with awe and a reminder of the resilience and beauty of the temperate rainforest. For those seeking even loftier heights, Grouse Mountain looms above the city, accessible by a scenic gondola or a challenging hike known as the Grouse Grind. From the summit, the views are spectacular. Vancouver sprawls below, the ocean sparkles to the west, and Mount Baker's snowy peak rises in the distance. In winter, Grouse becomes a playground for skiers and snowboarders. In summer, hikers and wildlife enthusiasts explore its trails and encounter resident grizzly bears in a protected refuge. Sunset from Grouse Mountain is unforgettable, painting the sky in shades of fire as the city lights twinkle below. A short ferry ride across the strait brings you to Vancouver Island, where the city of Victoria awaits with a unique blend of British charm and Pacific Northwest vibrancy. The city's harbor buzzes with activity. Seaplanes, ferries, and yachts come and go, while water taxis shaped like tiny tugboats ferry passengers about. Stroll along the waterfront and you'll find the iconic Parliament buildings and the Grand Fairmont Empress Hotel, draped in ivy and history. Victorian-era architecture mingles with modern cafes and boutiques, and the pace of life feels distinctly relaxed. No visit to Victoria is complete without experiencing Butchart Gardens, a horticultural masterpiece that delights the senses year-round. Once a limestone quarry, the gardens have been transformed into a symphony of color and fragrance. In spring, tulips and cherry blossoms burst forth. In summer, roses and lilies bloom in abundance. Even in winter, the gardens are alive with festive lights and evergreens. Wandering the winding paths, you are enveloped in beauty, each turn revealing a new tableau of flowers, fountains, and artistry. Traveling further west on Vancouver Island, you reach the wild, windswept shores of Pacific Rim National Park. Here, the ancient rainforest presses right up to the edge of the Pacific Ocean, and the land feels untamed, elemental. Towering Sitka spruce and giant hemlock trees cloak the land in green, their branches draped with moss and lichen. The beaches stretch for miles, vast sandy expanses where the surf crashes and the call of gulls fills the air. Surfers brave the cold waters, riding waves that roll in from across the Pacific, while kayakers explore sheltered coves and tidal pools teeming with life. The park's trails offer immersion into a world both primeval and vibrant. The famed West Coast Trail challenges hikers with rugged terrain, suspension bridges and ladders, but rewards them with breathtaking vistas and encounters with wildlife. From black bears foraging along the shoreline to whales breaching offshore. In spring and fall, the waters become a highway for migrating gray whales, and from the rocky headlands, visitors can watch these gentle giants on their epic journey. Throughout Western Canada, the bond between land and people runs deep. The mountains and forests have shaped the lives of Indigenous peoples for millennia, and their wisdom is woven into the very fabric of the region. Art, totem poles, and stories speak of a profound connection to the earth, the sky, and the waters. Visitors are invited to learn, to listen, and to honor the traditions that have sustained communities for generations. As you leave behind the lush forests and wild coasts of the West, the journey beckons northward, toward the Arctic wilderness and the ancient wisdom of the land's original stewards. The road ahead promises new adventures, greater solitude, and a chance to witness the raw, untamed beauty that lies at the very edge of the world. In Western Canada, the spirit of adventure is alive and well. Here, mountains rise like cathedrals and forests whisper secrets older than time. Lakes reflect the sky and glaciers tell stories of ages past. Cities pulse with creativity, yet nature is always close at hand. This is a land that stirs the soul, challenges the body, and fills the heart with wonder. Each moment is a reminder that the greatest journeys are those that awaken us to the beauty of the world and to the strength and serenity within ourselves.
In the farthest reaches of the north, where civilization thins and the earth opens into a vast, untamed expanse, lies northern Canada, a region shaped as much by its wild beauty as by the spiritual depth of its people. Here, the land whispers stories older than memory, and the sky itself is a stage for cosmic wonders. This is a place where remoteness is not isolation, but a profound connection to nature, heritage, and the enduring resilience of the human spirit.
Begin the journey in the Yukon Territory, a land where wilderness stretches endlessly toward the horizon and the heavens ignite each night with the shimmering dance of the aurora borealis. It is a realm of grand solitude, where silence is broken only by the wind through pine and the distant call of a raven. In winter, as the sun dips low, the northern lights unfurl in curtains of green and violet, painting the snow-clad landscape in ethereal hues. For the people who call this place home, and the travelers who venture north, these lights are more than a spectacle. They are a reminder of the earth's magic, a tradition woven into indigenous legend and northern folklore. Whitehorse, the Yukon's capital, stands as the gateway to this northern kingdom. Set along the Yukon River and cradled by mountains, Whitehorse is a city where frontier history meets modern vibrancy. The spirit of the Klondike Gold Rush lingers in its wooden boardwalks and heritage buildings, recalling an era when dreamers and prospectors braved the harsh wilderness in search of fortune. Today, Whitehorse is a hub for adventure, drawing visitors to hike ancient trails, paddle wild rivers, and immerse themselves in the living legacy of northern peoples. Venture west, and the land rises into the grandeur of Kluane National Park and Reserve. Here, Canada's highest peak, Mount Logan, reigns over a kingdom of ice and rock. Glaciers carve deep valleys, and alpine tundra stretches beneath endless skies. Kluane's beauty is more than visual. It is visceral, a testament to the power of Earth's forces and the patience of time. The park is a sanctuary not only for wildlife, grizzly bears, Dall sheep, and eagles, but also for those who seek quiet communion with nature's rawest forms. Whether exploring the trails, paddling the lakes, or simply standing in awe before Mount Logan's snowy summit, visitors are humbled by a sense of scale and wonder that transcends the ordinary. Northward still lies Dawson City, a town suspended in time on the banks of the Yukon River. Once the epicenter of the Klondike Gold Rush, Dawson's streets are lined with wooden buildings painted in bright hues, their facades recalling the wild optimism of another century. The town's history is preserved not just in its architecture, but in its spirited residents, who keep alive the traditions of the frontier: can-can dancers, gold panners, and sourdough storytellers. Here, history is not a distant memory, but a living presence, woven into the rhythm of daily life. In summer, the midnight sun bathes the town in a golden glow, while winter brings the crackle of dog sleds and the promise of aurora-lit skies. For those seeking the ultimate northern experience, the Yukon's Aurora viewing lodges offer luxury and comfort in the heart of the wilderness. Tucked away in remote forests or perched on windswept hills, these lodges provide a front-row seat to the northern lights. Guests gather in warm lounges, sharing stories as they wait for the sky to come alive. When the aurora appears, there is a collective hush, a sense of reverence as colors ripple and swirl, a celestial ballet that defies description. Under these lights, amid the vastness and the quiet, many find a sense of peace and perspective not easily found elsewhere. Eastward, the land opens into the Northwest Territories, a vast expanse of lakes, forests, and tundra that remains one of the world's last great frontiers. Here, wilderness is not a backdrop, but a way of life, shaping communities and traditions in ways both subtle and profound. The region's waterways are legendary, none more so than Great Slave Lake. One of the largest and deepest lakes in North America, its crystalline waters teem with fish, drawing anglers from around the globe. In summer, the lake is alive with kayaks, canoes, and sailboats, while winter transforms its surface into a playground for ice fishing, snowmobiling, and vibrant festivals. The people of the Northwest Territories embrace both seasons with equal joy, finding celebration in the extremes of their environment. Beyond its lakes, the Northwest Territories holds treasures of staggering natural beauty. Nahanni National Park Reserve is a wilderness jewel, recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site for its dramatic canyons, thunderous waterfalls, and untamed rivers. The South Nahanni River, winding through the heart of the park, is renowned among paddlers and adventurers for its wild rapids and serene stretches. Virginia Falls, twice the height of Niagara, thunders into a chasm carved by eons. Towering limestone cliffs, hot mineral springs, and deep caves add to the park's allure, making it a sanctuary for wildlife and a destination for those who seek adventure in the purest sense. Journey farther north, and the Arctic frontier beckons. Inuvik, perched on the edge of the tundra, stands as a gateway to the true Arctic. Here, the land is shaped by the extremes of latitude, the midnight sun that glows for weeks in summer, and the polar night that envelops winter in darkness. Inuvik is a place of resilience and innovation, where communities adapt to the rhythms of the land and celebrate the gifts of each season. The town is a crossroads for cultures, where Inuvialuit, Gwich'in, and newcomers from across Canada and beyond come together in a spirit of cooperation and shared purpose. But to truly understand the North, one must journey into Nunavut, the heartland of Inuit culture and tradition. Spanning a vast territory across the Canadian Arctic, Nunavut is a place where the land and its people are inseparable. The Inuit have thrived here for millennia, their lives shaped by the cycles of ice, sea, and sky. In places like Pond Inlet, the landscape is a masterpiece of Arctic fjords, sculpted glaciers, and icy waters teeming with wildlife. Narwhals, belugas, and seals glide through the fjords, while polar bears roam the ice. The land is both beautiful and unforgiving, demanding ingenuity and respect from those who call it home. Inuit culture is rooted in a profound relationship with nature, a bond reflected in every aspect of daily life. Traditional hunting, fishing, and trapping are not merely means of survival, but vital expressions of heritage and identity. The artistry of Inuit carving, passed through generations, speaks to this connection. Walrus tusk and soapstone are transformed into intricate sculptures that tell stories of ancestors, animals, and spirits. These works are more than art. They are living history, a testament to the resilience and creativity of a people who have learned to thrive in one of the world's harshest environments. Community is the cornerstone of life in Nunavut. In the depths of winter, when darkness reigns and the cold is absolute, communities gather in igloos and meeting halls for festivals that celebrate the light within. Throat singing, drum dancing, and storytelling keep traditions alive, passing knowledge and joy from elders to children. These gatherings are acts of resistance and resilience, a way of preserving culture against the tides of change and of finding warmth in shared experience. Across the North, there is a deep respect for nature and a philosophy of coexistence that has guided Indigenous peoples for generations. The land is not seen as a resource to be exploited, but as a partner, a relative to be honored and protected. This perspective is more than cultural. It is a necessity for survival in a land where nature's power is absolute. The wisdom of living in harmony with the earth is a lesson that resonates far beyond the Arctic, offering guidance to all who seek a sustainable future. Northern Canada is also a microcosm of the country's broader multiculturalism. Here, the roots of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples intertwine with those of French and English settlers and with newcomers from every corner of the globe. In towns and cities across the north, cultures blend and adapt, creating communities that are both diverse and deeply rooted. Festivals, languages, and traditions mingle, forming a rich mosaic that reflects Canada's national character, one of openness, inclusion, and respect for difference. As the journey through northern Canada comes to a close, what remains is a sense of awe. This is a land of boundless wonders, a place where nature's grandeur is matched only by the depth of its cultures and the strength of its people. From the glowing skies of the Yukon to the icy fjords of Nunavut, from the gold rush towns to the ancient traditions of the Inuit, the North is a living testament to the power of nature, the endurance of heritage, and the unbreakable bonds of community. Yet, the story of northern Canada is not one of isolation or distance, but of connection. It is a place where the past and present meet, where ancient wisdom guides modern life, and where the rhythms of nature shape the heart of a nation. In the North, one discovers not only the majesty of the land, but also the spirit of Canada itself, a spirit defined by resilience, diversity, and an abiding respect for the world we share. Canada, in all its vastness, is a place of wonder, a country where wilderness and civilization, tradition and innovation, solitude and community exist side by side. Its northern reaches exemplify this truth, reminding us that the greatest treasures are often found where the road ends and the adventure begins. So, whether you come seeking the magic of the aurora, the silence of the tundra, or the warmth of a northern welcome, you will find in northern Canada a world apart, remote, wild, and spiritual. Here, nature, culture, and humanity unite, crafting a story as timeless as the land itself, and as vibrant as the lights that dance across its winter skies.